Hello y'all, welcome back to today's second video. As you see on your background, this will just be to keep you interested, but in today's video we're doing a new series, which is essentially a what if series. Again, I hope you do leave a like and consider subscribing, and hope you do go check out my past videos and go share the channel. But essentially in this channel, not this channel, excuse me, this video, we're gonna be doing a new series that is a what if series, essentially going back with past political things that have happened. And in this video, our first episode essentially of this series will be what if Richard Nixon had resigned. Again, you might have already seen this video from CNN, but this will essentially be what I think. But essentially, as we all know, how Richard Nixon did resign from office due to the Watergate scandal and him essentially being threatened, if not already going to be impeached, with already essentially being told that he was going to be voted out with impeachment. But this essentially is going to be if the Watergate tapes and the Watergate scandal never grew and impeachment wasn't a big scenario. Again, we already knew his second term would have been very differently, with a moderate to liberal Republican being elected, most likely his Republican Vice President Spiro Agnew, which means we never have a Gerald Ford presidency. And in the Spiro Agnew presidency, you would see essentially a continuation of Richard Nixon's policies, but essentially due to that, you wouldn't have a Jimmy Carter victory. Again, Jimmy Carter was won due to the Watergate scandal, essentially, and due to Gerald Ford being not a very good candidate. But in this scenario, excuse me, I keep getting confused with other videos, but with a Spiro Agnew presidency, this would mean that with Jimmy Carter not being elected, talking about Jimmy Carter, George just went blue. Without a Jimmy Carter presidency, it's tough to see a Ronald Reagan presidency, which means you don't see a rise in conservatism, in Republican conservatism. Again, which would mean you don't see a Bush presidency. You wouldn't see trickle down economics, as they say it. You wouldn't see a George H.W. Bush presidency, which means you don't see a recession. You probably are going to see maybe a Michael Dukakis presidency. Anything is possible when you just hypothetically think. But essentially, now with essentially just say with no George H.W. Bush presidency, you have a Michael Dukakis presidency. That means you don't have a Bill Clinton presidency, which means you don't have the Monica Lewinsky scandal, which means you don't have a booming economy, which also means you don't have 2016 Democratic nominee in Hillary Clinton, because she wouldn't have gained the experience that Bill Clinton gave her in the White House. You wouldn't see her in the political spotlight, and you wouldn't really hear about her or Bill Clinton due to him not even being in the running for the presidency. And without a Bill Clinton presidency, you don't have a 2000 election that was so close, which again means that you probably still do, which actually, thinking about it, you might not have a George W. Bush presidency. You might have maybe even a John McCain presidency, or depending if there was a Democrat before that, you could see, I don't know, maybe even still a George W. Bush presidency. But just with that one thing, as you see, even up to now, a lot of things already happened. But going on to 2008, we're probably not going to have our first African American president elected due to George W. Bush having a tumultuous second term with the Great Recession, the burst of the mortgage bubble, which means that you don't have our first African American president in Barack Obama, our 44th president, which also means that you don't have Obamacare, which means, which was a victory for Republicans, which also means that you won't see Mitt Romney running, which means you will probably have, if George W. Bush is president, you probably will have not Barack Obama, not Hillary Clinton, but you could even have a John Edwards presidency. Yes, Senator from North Carolina, John Kerry's vice presidential nominee. You probably will actually even have a presidency with him. But although if a Republican gets elected, which could be John McCain, you would see again a big turnout in 2012 and could have a Barack Obama presidency. But moving on to 2016, if you have a Republican running, you could see the unexpected and see a Donald Trump running as a Democrat. Because as we know, Donald Trump was a very liberal person, a Democrat, outspoken Democrat, before Barack Obama was elected. And once Barack Obama was elected, you saw him transition to the Republican Party. And so without a Barack Obama, you'll probably see even a Donald Trump elected as a Democrat. But coming up to the president, you are probably going to see a Donald Trump Democrat, which is going to hurt the Democratic Party, of course. In the midterms, you're going to see huge losses for Democrats in the Senate, gubernatorial races, and House races. So you won't really be seeing a blue wave. You're most likely going to be seeing a red bloodbath. But again, just with that one decision in politics, everything has changed. But again, you can only speculate. We never actually will know what happened. Maybe in an alternate universe, but who knows? But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, and if you did enjoy this episode of first episode of this series, I hope you do leave a like, subscribe, and comment down any suggestions for new what if videos, and comment down any I hope you do press the post notification button and comment down any suggestions. I hope you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.